County, Tennessee, working to rebuild after seeing severe damage from flooding brought on by Hurricane Helene. News Show 11's Ansley Daniel in Washington County, Tennessee, now with Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger. Ansley?
All right, I'm standing by with Congresswoman Diana Harshbarger here in Chuckey, Tennessee. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I know you have been very busy since this began.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, first off, tell me, 1 month following Helene, where are we at in recovery from your office's standpoint?
Well, today I was standing on I-26 and the DOT completed one side of I-26, so that's opened on one side, going and coming back. So that's progress. After 33 days, we get that interstate open. That's a miracle. And what I'm doing is I have a staffer in every county that has been declared a disaster county. And we have them there as a point of contact to find out what the county needs, to tell them what the relief efforts are to help FEMA as far as what they're doing and how they're doing it and what we can do to help them, and also a point of contact for TEMA. So we are on the ground in every one of these counties that have damage. And, when we go back to D.C., we're going to be working on a supplemental disaster aid package. And I've already been talking to colleagues because there's, 6 states that have been devastated, and so it's our job to make sure that we account for everything that these counties need in one giant disaster aid package so we can get that money out to those distressed counties.
And let's talk a little bit about what you are going to do when you get back to D.C. I know you've been talking to your colleagues and working with them, but what are some specifics you want people to know about your plan?
Well, we're going from mayor to mayor, and I was talking to DOT today. They're working on numbers. It's like some of these counties, just like Unicoi, which was really ground zero. When we first, and I was there the day that everything happened, and we had to call and scramble to get helicopters there on the 27th of September. They still have a water treatment plant that is down. And so what are we going to do? We're looking at appropriations too. Not only are we trying to get a supplemental disaster aid package together, but what do these counties need that I can do at a federal level to help them? We'll go through the DOT, we'll work with TEMA. We need to get things up and running, back operating again, just like in Unicoi. There's things that are needed, communications in a lot of these mountainous counties. That's one thing on my travels, and I've been to every one of these devastated places right after the storm happened, and some of the limiting factors are up in Johnson County. I think the other day there were like 490 some people without power. So, and that's due to substations being down, some of TVA substations. So they had to work backwards. Communication is a problem. So the Starlink packages will work with the FCC to get those Starlinks put into all these mountainous counties where they don't have broadband. That's a huge problem. Making sure that the power grid's working in all these places. Water systems are up and running. I think about Cock that was devastated in Greene County. They lost their water systems. My goodness, you can't function without that. It could have been a whole lot worse, but what we're doing is going county to county, finding out exactly what they need, and we're trying to appropriate the money for those projects.
And speaking of finding out what people need, I know that you've been on the ground, but what do you want people to know about what your office can do and how they can contact you?
Well, we have a staff in all of the counties that have been declared disaster zones, and right now we still have somebody in Carter, Unicoi counties, and so, and even Cock, we can send somebody back over there. I think they had a lot of people. If they get denials from FEMA, for heaven's sake, that doesn't mean they're denied. That means they may be missing a piece of paperwork, something like that. That is one of the gripes that I've had. I'm like, tell them that's pending, that it's not denied. We're here to help them walk them through it, and that's what a lot of my field reps, a lot of my office staff is doing, is helping them complete the paperwork. And also Small Business Administration. If you hear that they're out of money, it doesn't mean they have money. Don't delay in putting your application in. We're going to refund them. We're going to make sure they have money to do what's going to be done for these small businesses. And I don't want to deter them from signing up for that money. And the most important thing right now is that there is a December 2nd deadline to apply for FEMA assistance. And these people, they're precious people in this district. And what I hear over and over is somebody needs it more than me. Look, the money has been allocated. We put $20 billion in FEMA before we left, when we left on recess. That money is there. Please apply. for everything, because they will give it to somebody, and these people are deserving. They've lost everything they've ever worked for. So, and if they're hesitant about doing that, they can contact me or my office, and we'll walk them through the process. It's really simple. If they don't trust the government, that's one thing, but if they trust me and my staff, we'll make sure that we get that paperwork done for them.
All right, Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Again, another way to receive help, and another reminder that if you are applying for FEMA, you have ways to get help. If you've been denied, again, more help can be on the way. Just be sure to call in and ask those questions. Casey?